Zainabia Child Sponsorship Scheme, stands for ZCSS. This project was started by Mullah Asghar 35 years ago. His passion on education, his passion on eradicating the poverty, and the only way he could see we can eradicate poverty is by way of giving education to the poor sector of our communities.
Recently, in the month of March, we were in India accompanied by the President-elect of the World Federation and other team members. We visited almost 5 cities in India: Bangalore, Hyderabad, Lucknow, Bhuj, Ahmedabad, Mahua, and Bhavnagar, and Mumbai, of course. We visited 2 schools around Bangalore. We have got 2 of our Zainabia schools around about 100 kilometers out of Bangalore, one in Alipur and one in Karimpur. The one in Alipur is a totally dedicated school for female students, and they go up to teacher training level and BA level. While in Karimpur, we have a primary and a full-fledged secondary school. We also visited Focus High Schools in Hyderabad, and then had the opportunity to fly over to Lucknow and see the Unity College School in Lucknow. That Unity College School is a real example of how the underprivileged community can be catered for, and they can become contributing members of the society.
Education has always been very important to me, and the chance to provide education or to facilitate the provision of education to children is, I think, one of the main priorities of WF Aid. The Prophet's hadith, seeking of knowledge is obligatory on every Muslim. So we're following that ethos, and we're trying to uplift the children who otherwise would not have been able to attain education. The impact of ZCSS has been huge. I mean, if you imagine, the project has been running for nearly 30 years, right? So a lot of children have been educated through ZCSS, have finished their schooling, gone on to higher education, and secured very good jobs, mainly in India, Middle East. Some have become doctors, engineers, and so on. So when you educate one child, you're not only educating that child, you're actually uplifting the whole family. Okay, and through that person being educated and then being able to go further and secure a job, get a good job, the whole family, and he can then support others as well to get education and so on. So it's really upliftment for the whole, not only family, but to the wider community as well.
The India office has taken up a significant role in Zainabia Child Sponsorship Scheme. We look after the donor management, and being locally available, I have had the privilege to visit most of the agencies who work for the World Federation and see the kind of work they do. Truly, they are doing a fantastic work of supporting the needy students and helping them get educated, and in turn support their families in the future.
As we know, ZCSS is a flagship program for the World Federation. As is commonly known, in the recent history, we've had difficulties with reporting to our donors, difficulties in tracking our students, and critically being able to bring the scheme up to date compliance requirements of the UK charity laws. Alhamdulillah, we've been able to successfully streamline those processes, and we are now back on the foot where we can now rebuild the scheme to the greater heights that it used to be in the late 80s and early 90s. This has meant a reduction in the number of students, but what we've been able to do is that we have been able now to track those students to see the progress and the impact that your donation is making to their lives and ensuring that they get out of the cycle of poverty.
The thing that I want to tell donors is that your donation, your support is making a huge difference. Not only, it's making a tangible difference to these families. It is giving them hope. It is giving them an avenue where they can come out of the poverty trap and uplift their standards. So first, I'd like to thank the donors. I pray for them. I pray that Allah gives them the tawfiq and betterment so that they can do more. And if there are any problems, if there is any questions or anything that you have, please approach us, email us, and we will resolve your queries.
At this stage, I must thank all our new donors and our existing donors who continued having faith and trust in the World Federation's ZCSS scheme in ensuring that we reduced our deficit that we had in supporting students through their education. I'm grateful particularly to the new donors who have come forward and heeded to our call of more sponsorship. Critically, we took over a deficit in the ZCSS scheme, and Alhamdulillah, with your support, with the support of all the donors, we can report that at the end of this term, the deficit of the ZCSS program has been brought down to zero, and we are now in a position where we can now increase the number of students we take with your support and with more donations coming through for the scheme.
It has taken a lot of time from my usual work, but I won't complain on that because it was my passion and I happily agreed to take the project. I have learned a lot from this project, and I can say very clearly that you have to go to this part of the world, in India or Pakistan, in the villages, and see the poverty of people of the community, and see the way they absolutely no education. So that really lifted my will to work for the World Federation in this particular department.
The ZCSS scheme focused around primary students initially. However, for the next term, our recommendation is that the team focuses on higher education in India and other schemes for the rest of the world. The reason behind this is that primary education is now significantly supported locally by the government of India, locally supported by the local philanthropists of the community, and there is a number of other institutions who are now doing primary education. The key now is to focus on higher education because this is still unaffordable for majority of our community in India. This is where we can see true impact, where members of our community are getting bachelor's and master's degrees and are getting into the work environment, ensuring that they not only support themselves but their families, and within that hopefully their community as well.